American. We're going to buy American. Folks, so trade rules. Buy America has been the law since 1933. Also caps and won't even go into effect until 2025. And by the way, that law was written and the benefit expires in 2025. New electric grids that are able to weather major storms and not prevent those fires. If you charge the same amount, you got about, I don't know, 10% fewer Snickers in it. Look, you're also getting rid of junk fees.
Good evening, America. My name is Katie Britt, and I have the honor of serving the people of the great state of Alabama in the United States Senate. However, that's not the job that matters most. I am a proud wife and mom of 2 school-aged kids. My daughter Bennett and my son Ridgway are why I ran for the Senate. I'm worried about their future and the future of children in every corner of our nation. And that's why I invited you into our home tonight. Like so many families across America, my husband Wesley and I just watched President Biden's State of the Union address from our living room. And what we saw was the performance of a permanent politician who has actually been in office for longer than I've been alive.
A Bloomberg Morning Consult poll showing that Trump is leading Biden handily in 7 key swing states. And in 4 states that Trump lost in 2020, he's now winning in 2024. Wisconsin, where billionaires are spending huge for Joe, Trump's up by 5. Pennsylvania, look out, he's up by 3. Nevada, a state run by Democrats for Democrats, Trump's trouncing Biden by 8 points. Ditto in Georgia. Trump's got North Carolina by 10 points and Michigan by 5. In Arizona, he's up by 3. Well, turns out that overwhelming the country with millions of demanding, ungrateful, and dangerous migrants isn't such a good campaign strategy after all. Who would have thought that?
One thing was quite clear, though. President Biden just doesn't get it. He's out of touch. Under his administration, families are worse off. Our communities are less safe, and our country is less secure. I just wish he understood what real families are facing around kitchen tables just like this one. You know, this is where our family has tough conversations. It's where we make hard decisions. It's where we share the good, the bad, and the ugly of our days. It's where we laugh together, and it's where we hold each other's hands and pray for God's guidance. And many nights, to be honest, it's where Wesley and I worry. I know we're not alone. And so tonight, the American family needs to have a tough conversation because the truth is, we're all worried about the future of our nation.
And to start the day talking a little bit about the State of the Union and just how insulting it was, how insane it was, how absurd it was, the crazy lies that Joe Biden told, the heckling that he received from Marjorie Taylor Greene, basically heckled into admitting about what happened with illegals. Also had a father of a son that was lost during the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, arrested. It's insane just how bad this is. I mean, just how bad, the arresting a Gold Star dad for heckling you, probably not great, but let's take a look. Let's actually start with the Gold Star dad. So during the event, during the State of the Union, the father of a U.S. Marine who did not survive the final U.S. military withdrawal from Afghanistan, a botched, huge mess headed up by Joe Biden's administration, but I'm sure that it was very inclusive, was arrested after he berated President Joe Biden during the State of the Union address about the incident. Now, the person here is a Gold Star dad. This means you lost somebody in combat or in military. He stood up during Biden's address and repeatedly shouted, "Abbey Gate," referring to the entrance to Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul, Afghanistan, where somebody took out 13 U.S. service members and at least 170 Afghan citizens. His son was Marine Lance Corporal Kareem Nikoy. He did not survive that. Biden, of course, has been criticized for his handling of the withdrawal, and security confronted the dad, who was on the upper tier of the House chambers, and demanded he stop, but he continued shouting. Good for him. He was escorted out of the House galleries, which I'm actually like, look, that much, okay, I can understand why you might do that, but then arresting him is insane. The optics of this, the fact that there are multiple headlines now that say you had a Gold Star dad arrested for, reacting like any good father would. It's insane to me.
Now, remember when Democrats used to cry about how we had to help all the poor migrants who are hiding in the shadows? Got to bring them out of the shadows, give them jobs. Well, they ain't hiding anymore. Instead, they're brutally attacking New York cops who are doing their jobs. We're going to have more on this later in the show. But just look at these thugs. Now, no one is blaming Republicans for this, Joe. And most people are smart enough to see right through the phony border bill that your stooges cooked up in the Senate to give you political cover. None of it's working.
Have you done everything you can do with executive authority, or is there more you could do absent legislation?
Not all I can do. Just give me the power. I've asked for the very day I got in office. Give me the border patrol. Give me the people. Give me the people, the judges. Give me the people who can stop this and make it work right.
Give me the border patrol. What do you think you're doing down there? Now, our own eyes, they just don't deceive us. We all see what's happened to America in just 3 short years under Biden. The drug crisis is ripping through liberal, pro-legalization states. Check out these tragic statistics. In 2019, 280 people died of drug overdoses in Oregon. Fatalities rose every year after, more than tripling by 2022 when 956 people died. The state is still compiling data for 2023, but if the trends continue, and there's no reason to doubt they aren't, the total would reach 1,250 deaths from an overdose. Now, Biden's people are supposedly negotiating a deal with China to stop killing our citizens with fentanyl. Well, wait for those details. Now, of course, we know about the increase in violent psychosis and schizophrenia in young users of marijuana. Look what happened with that California woman who went on a stabbing rampage crazy on weed. And Biden's answer to this isn't to toughen the laws, it's to deschedule marijuana as a less dangerous drug. Nice going. Just what we need. More slackers, more street zombies, more deaths. Oh, and Bidenomics? Well, people prefer Trump. All the polls show it. And so all but the most diehard leftists know that with Joe Biden as our figurehead president, we're going down the tubes fast. And rather than do what was required to turn things around, Democrats are taking talking points from proven losers like Liz Cheney.
Do you believe if Donald Trump were elected next year that he would try to stay in office beyond a second term? That he would never leave office?
There's no question.
You think he would try to stay in power forever?
Absolutely.
Never leave. Now, rather than changing policies, Democrats are banking on Nikki Haley.
How has Trump changed politics for the good and the bad?
He's made it chaotic. He's made it self-absorbed. He's made people dislike and judge each other. And he's just toxic.
What's the windshield wiper move? That's very profound, Nikki.
But minutes after taking office, he suspended all deportations, he halted construction of the border wall, and he announced a plan to give amnesty to millions. We know that President Biden didn't just create this border crisis, he invited it with 94 executive actions in his first 100 days. When I took office, I took a different approach. I traveled to the Del Rio sector of Texas. That's where I spoke to a woman who shared her story with me. She had been sex trafficked by the cartels starting at the age of 12. She told me not just that she was raped every day, but how many times a day she was raped. The cartels put her on a mattress in a shoebox of a room, and they sent men through that door over and over again for hours and hours on end. We wouldn't be okay with this happening in a third world country. This is the United States of America, and it is past time, in my opinion, that we start acting like it. President Biden's border policies are a disgrace. This crisis is despicable. And the truth is, it is almost entirely preventable. From fentanyl poisonings to horrific murders, there are empty chairs tonight at kitchen tables just like this one because of President Biden's senseless border policies.